this is Fuzzy Wingman, and I am back. I got more of my massive amounts of Guardsmen versus Harlequins this time. We will see how audio goes this time because I am trying a new device for, not necessarily a new mic, but a new device that actually saves the recording file, as I've been having issues in the past, and as of the last video, I noticed what used to be old reliable has become old unreliable pretty quickly. So I'm trying out something new. So we'll see if I can continue using my mic, or if sometimes I have to switch over to the camera audio. But hopefully, it's all good. I kind of like my setup, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, into the game, because that's just the warning. Might have issues. I'm doing the mission shifting priorities. Blah 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 blah. Create battlefield, set up train, set up battlefield objectives 1 through 4. Okay. Red. Understood. First, let's see who has the greatest strategic advantage. Harlequins. So they can choose deployment zone. Well, they don't really care about terrain. So I think they actually want to go over here because they can deploy more clustered, jump over terrain. And with the Guardsmen deploying here, Guardsmen will have a little bit more. We'll force the Guardsmen to split a little bit to get around this container potentially. So Guardsmen actually deploy first. Somewhere in this mess. Beep. 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 So this is pretty straightforward. You get points for every objective you're on at the end of a round, so Guardsmen are going to do their best to get as many objectives as quickly as possible. No, whatever, that one fell over. I can force it back up later. Oh, the woes of playing Harlequins on a not 100% flat surface. Who am I kidding? Even on flat surfaces, they fall over like crazy. Alright, just the Guardsmen, and using that blue dice as their point indicator. Who am I kidding? Their bodies are now an indicator. Alright. Alright. At the beginning of the round, Harlequins actually have to roll. Beginning of each battle round, yeah, this happens. 3. If objective 3 is on the battlefield, remove it. So objective 3 has been removed. That is completely in favor of Guardsmen. Now we see who has initiative. Oh. Round 1. 4, 5. So Harlequins have the initiative. Alright, I was just trying to read real quick if they had anything additional when they advanced. Oh, their mosque, duh. forgot to look at the mosque and see which one to select from. They're going to do the one where they gain one additional attack in the fight phase when they charge. So... we can at least get someone onto there. Let's get a second body. It's like 2 inches from the center, so this objective marker is almost as big enough. This guy is... well, he can't charge, but he can at least declare advance. So he's going to advance. 8 plus 5 is 13. Can at least get someone there on an objective. Oh yeah, and he's advanced. Actually going to just move up like that. Doesn't really want to be advancing to get distance, and at least give the model some cover. Sort of. I'll count it. Even though it's like, if I were to just count their body, it's like, yeah, they're standing on terrain, which makes that more complicated. But then it's like, they need cover. They need to be obscured for this. This one's going to advance. So I can go up a foot. There it goes. Be hidden a little bit more. And this one's also advancing. Only gets to go 10 inches. Yeah, if Objective 3 was still here, they would have been able to secure it. Guardsmen time. I think there's an order that they're going to consider. Alright, I'll have that. Mark this for myself for later, since I definitely think about doing that. Depends on how this goes. This model's going to advance. 3 goes a total of 9. Alrighty. This model will advance. Alright. God, that's a lot. Still crazy that this is a kill team. Okay. Top of shooting face is orders. So the first order is, cool. So he can almost give orders to there. He'll reposition for next round to make sure he can. But he gives the order to this one forwards for the Emperor, so he can now shoot even though he advance. They'll spend 1 command point and do the same for this model. So they have 2 people who could do some shooting up in the front. Harlequins only have these models that could shoot. Alright, all their pistols are 12-inch range. So 6 inches is long range for them. They're actually going to start with this one, shooting it to him. Because that one should really mess him up. It's the Neuro disruptor. Since it's long range, it's going to be 4 to hit, but he's out in the open. They're not going to spend a command point to reroll that. This one's going to double tap into her. You know, she's right in front of him. 2 shots, 4s to hit. 1 hit. Strength 3 versus toughness 3, so 4 to wound. Wounds. She has a 4-up invuln. She'll, obviously take it. Fail it. I'll spend a command point to reroll that, even though there's suspect she's going to have to do a lot of saves. But she at least made this one. Firing a Shuriken pistol into him. He's out in the open, but long range. So, 4 to hit. Hits. So, when it comes to the wound roll, that's when things might apply. But it's strength 4, so 3 to wound. If I roll 6, it becomes AP minus 1. Or AP minus 3. Oh, wow, okay. So 6 is rough. Either way, it's now AP 0, so Guardsman gets a 5-up armor save. Fails it. Not going to spend a command point to reroll it, so they'll roll an injury roll. They'll accept it. Well, they've already rolled a reroll, so they have to accept it. Alright. This guy is shooting 2 shots into that model. 4s to hit. Nothing. He's shooting into... Yep, he's shooting into this one because out in the open, 1 shot, Shuriken pistols, 4 to hit. Doesn't want it to be 5 to hit, so actually hits. Does wound. 5-up armor. Made it. Sometimes they make their 5-up armor. Now time for a whole lot of missing. 2 shots from him, 5s to hit because obscured from his own teammates. Nothing. 2 shots from that guy, 5s to hit. Gets a hit. 4 to wound. Doesn't wound. 2 shots from that one. Doesn't hit because obscured. 2 shots from him. 2 hits. Only 1 wound. 4-up save. Is failed. Oh, okay. Alright, we got an injury roll here. Flesh wound. It was a 3. Alright, so all the Guardsmen fire except the plasma. Just kind of drop. And that'll be for 2 people. So plasma, obviously will not overcharge. It's not a sniper, so there's no need to. 2 shots, 5s to hit. Nothing. Who over here can see targets? Okay, he can't. These ones can. So these ones all can see this Harlequin. So first do this one. 2 shots, 5s to hit. Nothing. 2 shots from him, 5s to hit. Nothing. As I said, a whole lot of missing. 2 shots from him. 1 hit. 4 to wound. Wounds. 4-up invuln. Man, they have been failing their invuln saves like crazy. So that actually gets an out of action. Alright, now they have some shots there. And it's these 3. What's the... Yep, plasma does not, so it's just these 3. Just gonna roll all 3 together. So they're all 6s to hit. Yeah, obscured long range. So, boom. And each one is its own gun, so each one would be its own injury roll. So, fired. I'm not even going to indicate it because I don't need to, since it's just these 2 left. We're going to fire this one first into this model. 2 shots, 5s to hit. Snake Eyes. So this one will shoot 2 shots into that model. 5s to hit. They both got obscures. So nothing. Firing has been completed. End of round point. So, Guardsmen are at 2 victory points so far. Harlequins are at 1. Command points will go up by 2 for each one, and they'll both be at 3. Round 2. But before that, Harlequins roll on the initiative things. Objective 3 would be removed, but it's already been removed, so nothing happens. So objectives remain. Okay, so now we got, okay, Harlequins, what are you going to do? Harlequins, what are you going to do? First, we got to see, do they go? That is an 8, and that is 8, so re-roll. 8 and 9. They just keep squeaking by, but just by a difference of 1. Alright, Harlequin's still the initiative. And this one's going to just declare charge. Actually, on these 3, because they can just go over enemy models, right? Can cross other models as if they were not there. And it can go up any distance vertically and not count it. So, climb, go down without counting. Well, that means they can't really jump over trees. But either way, this model can still jump into the middle of this and kill these 3. Well... Yeah, because it could still be within 1 inch of this guy and still get that. So, it's declaring the charge. They don't really want to fall back because that just potentially brings that model more closer to the rest of the mob. So they'll just accept their fate. Clearly that should be good. I mean, it's 8. That can go all the way up there, but it's just trying to get here. Yep, so it's got all those 3. This one's actually going to declare a charge on these 2. We'll just overwatch. So first guy overwatching. Of course he gets a hit. Doesn't wound. They'll spend a command point to reroll that, actually, because they have good odds of wounding. And it's the movement phase reroll, so actually gets a wound. Invuln save. Failed. I'll spend a command point to reroll that because, okay. They managed to get an injury roll on them. Flesh wound. And now the other guardsman overwatching doesn't hit. Charge distance says 6 inches. Did not successfully charge this model. Got this one, but this one is still free to do what it wants to do. Guardsmen know if they throw enough bodies in there, they'll be able to still hold the objective, so see what happens in a moment. Oh, boys, how do they want to do this? They're going to have this model. Actually, no, he's going to declare a charge first. Let's see, he thinks he wants to go kind of there. You don't declare a charge on things he doesn't want to be overwatched by. Okay. It's only declaring it on these three. Let's see here. What does anyone to fall back? I mean, he could, but they also kind of want to be there to still have bodies near the objective. They think they might die, but still. He'll overwatch. They also realize they have a chance to just shoot. Shoot. And, he can roll poorly here. Or not. Roll a nice whopping 11. He can still go where he wants to go. Here. Be within 1 inch here, 1 inch there. Is he 1 inch there? Good. He's only on the models he declared a charge against. Alright, this one's declaring a charge on these two models. The one with... They're both going to overwatch because if he falls back, he can't go through units, so he's got nowhere to go. So we'll start with his overwatch. Nothing, and then the guy without a flesh wound actually gets a hit. Gets a successful wound. And then we'll just roll that invul. And fail it, of course. So, flesh wound. I mean, they're at least getting flesh wounds on them through Overwatch. They didn't... Well, no, they killed one model without Overwatch. So, Oh, that's kind of a clear on there. You can't ignore me now. And this one already up. He's on an objective. He can sit there. Guardsmen. Still greater than 1 inch. And they can at least fire onto him. Making sure they're not within consolidation range for this guy. Back up a little bit more. They know they could pile on bodies, but they could also just get rage and just shoot everything. You know what? This guy's going to declare... Well, no. He could declare charge in, but he's going to be... This one's still going to punch first and has enough tax to put some on him, so... As heroic as that sounds, he's going to be smart about it. Okay. Top of shooting phase is orders. He's going to give This one, the order, fixed bayonets, and immediately fights as if it's the 5-phase. So let's pile in. Do his one attack. Boom! He hits. Strength 3 for his toughness 3, so it's actually 4 to wound. Fail to wound. You know what? You spend a command point to reroll that. Why not? Gets that wound. So the Harlequin actually has to do an invuln save. Made it. It's their best bet of getting wounds on them, so, might as well try. Alright. Starting with him, since it's ready models go first. Base to base is just barely there. So, 3 to hit. Let's find a command point to reroll that, because the odds are good. Oh, fine. Just whiff. Plasma will fire into him. He moved, so he doesn't really want to try to overcharge, so it's just a regular shooting. Still going to be 2s to wound, so 2 shots, 4s to hit. The guy's out in the open. Gets a hit. 2 to wound. Fail to wound. Harlequins have no one else to shoot. He's everyone charged this turn. He's going to do 2 shots at him. Obscured, so 5s to hit. 2 hits. I just realized I didn't do any morale checks. Well, they were leadership 8. So, Harlequins are leadership 8, so they couldn't fail morale checks. And this guy was surrounded by everyone with no one dead, so they wouldn't have failed morale checks. And there was no break test yet. Anyway, this guy's shooting 2 hits because he's a god. 4s to wound. 2 wounds. Okay, I was making the comment that he's like a god. He actually puts a wound on this guy, and they've done a reroll. So they go into an injury roll. He might be obscured, but the object that obscures him, he's not within 1 inch. So he doesn't take the penalty to the injury roll. I'm remembering this time. So this guy's dead. That's out of action. He just took someone off on an objective. He is the guardsman that he needed to be. He was just like, all my friends are dying. Let me just go over here and clear an objective. I mean, honestly, this objective's probably lost, but the guardsmen might be able to hold off on this one. There's no more shooting because all their targets are in melee now, so they can't do anything. So we move on to the fight phase. Starting with Harlequins because they did all the charging and they get an extra attack. Right? I chose the Mosque of Extra Attack. I'm pretty sure I said that. Yep, extra attack. Woo! Let's start with this model. That one's kind of important. Alright, it is non-specialist. Right? Let's see here. The leader is 1. I recognize that one as 1. I know that one is supposed to be 1. And I think that one's 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So yep, that would be it. So that would be not a regular one. Yeah, I got the problem of I can't do what you see is what you get. Because it doesn't really work that. Or like I really don't want to do that with this Harlequin. And also it's hard to do all the weapons I wanted to do because they just didn't have enough models and I just didn't want to keep buying more when this is enough. Anyway, it's got the Harlequin's Kiss. It's going to have 5 attacks with that charge. So 2, 2, 1, he'll save the one that actually did some fighting against it for last and be like, you know what? Let's see if you live. Like, you're a worthy opponent kind of thing. Yeah, and it's going to be at strength 4, so it'll be 3s to wound. So 2 attacks on him, 3s to hit. 1 hit, 3 to wound. Wounds. AP -1, so 6 up save for that Guardsman. Failed. Not going to try to reroll that. D3 damage. 3. Dead. And now the 2 attacks on this guy. 3s to hit. Snake Eyes. Do they want to reroll this? Not really. They kind of want to stay in melee. Because, well, if they stay in melee, they got the problem of Guardsmen can fall back next round. So they actually want to kill. So they'll spend their final command point to reroll this. And does not succeed. And then the final attack on this guy. Hits. Wounds. He gets a 6-up armor if he survives it. Nope, he rolled 3. So D3 damage. 2 damage. Flesh wound. And we move on to next one fighting. Let's see here. Alright. So, which one to do, actually? I'll start with the guy who's got 3 models surrounding him. Actually, yeah, no. He's just got those 3 models, so there's no need for this one to worry. I just realized I kind of got that one close to a model it didn't declare a charge on, so we'll just back up a little bit because it should not be close enough to this guy. It should only be close enough to these 2. So let's just do this guy doing these 3. So Harlequin's Embrace. He's a combat specialist, so in total he's going to have 6 attacks with that charge. So he's just going to put 2 on each Guardsman. So we'll just start with this Guardsman. 2 attacks, 3s to hit. 1 hit, strength, force, 3 to wound. Wounds, AP -3 goes through. Damage 1. Flesh wound. 2 attacks on this guy. Whiff. 2 attacks on this guy. 1 hit. Wounds goes through. Damage 1. Alright, took that guy out at least. Now this guy, now he could do his pile-in. Does his pile-in bring him closer to... It does make it so you can put attacks on that guy. And he's also going to have 6 attacks, so he's going to put 1 on each guy. It's going to be forced to hit because he has a flesh wound on him. He's also, since he's the Zealot, he actually adds 1 to his strength, so he becomes strength 5, but that doesn't really help. It'd be great if he was against a Space Marine, because then he'd be wounding on 3s on a Space Marine, but that's about it. So we'll do 2 attacks on everyone. So we'll start with this guy. 2 attacks, 4s to hit. Both hit. 3s to wound. Both wound. It's a Harlequin's Kiss, so it's AP -1, so he's got 2 6-up saves. Failed them both. D3 damage. 1 damage. Still dead. 2 attacks on this guy. 1 hit. 3 wound. Wounds. 6-up save. They'll eventually save one of those, but this time they won't. 1 damage. Flesh wound. Yeah, this objective is lost over here to the Guardsmen, pretty much for sure. And the 2 attacks on this guy. 1 hit. wounds, 6 up save, the opposite of 6, D3 damage, 3 damage. This is probably a very dead guardsman. Very dead guardsman. And now he could choose to consolidate. He doesn't have to. But he has to go to the closest. He's currently close enough to be on the objective. He's actually going to stay put. He's not locked in combat, so he can charge someone next turn. So he's going to stay there. And just allow us to go into morale phase. Oh, guardsman punch per back. Duh. Oh, and this guy hasn't punched. No, it's far from over. This guy, he's got 5 attacks. With his charge. 4 is to hit because of his injury. 4 hits, 3s to wound. 3 wounds. I really doubt this guy is going to make 3 6-up saves. Yep, far from it. And now, D3 damage. 1 injury roll. Okay, dead. There. He's going over there. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it all will matter once morale is done. Because morale isn't over yet. We get guardsmen punching. We're going to just do these two together because they're the same rolls. They're punching that guy at 5s to hit. 1 hit. 4 to wound. Actually wounds. Makes his invuln save. This guy's going to punch... Well, this guy's going to punch first. He's going to punch this one. 4 to hit. Doesn't hit. He will also punch that one. 5 to hit because injury. Nothing. So, punching's done. Morale phase. Harlequins. 2 injured, 2 dead. That's 4 out of 6 is greater than half. So Harlequins have to do a break test. They passed, so that's good. You roll 6, it's going to be an 8. So they're not worried about they're not worried about failing nerve checks, so they're not going to bother. Guardsmen definitely can start failing nerve checks for anyone who's injured. Do they have to do break tests though? They got that's 3 there. Plus 5 is 8. They were at like 18 models or something. Oh god, I have to actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They're at 19, so 10 have to die or be injured. And they're only at 8. So they have 2 more to go. So no break test. But morale checks. We'll start with this guy. Actually, they'll spend their final command point to make this guy pass. Because then they'll have more bodies on the objective, closer to the objective. Right? Yeah, this guy's barely outside of the objectives. But this guy's just barely in because he's actually base to base. This guy's not base to base. So that's why the math does line up a bit. So this guy, injury roll or nerve check. I'm pretty sure that's a fail. So, but he's got they have the Voxcaster still up, so he gets to reroll. Pretty sure that's still a fail, because I can only subtract 1, so that becomes an 8, which a Guardsman does not have a leadership of 8. Other Guardsman rolls that 1, and that automatically passes. So only one Guardsman is shaken. And now we add points. Harlequins are the only ones that have someone there, and Guardsmen are the only ones that have have more bodies on the objective than Harlequins. So Guardsmen gain 1, Harlequins gain 1. So 3-2. Command points. Guardsmen go up by 2, Harlequins only go up to 1. And that's also how much they have, because they both were at 0 that round. So round 3. Harlequins start with their roll on this thing, which I'm pretty sure now puts an objective in the center. Yep. So about there. I'm kind of eyeballing it, I know. But it's about there. So now there's an objective there. Now we see who has the initiative. Alright, this time Guardsmen have initiative. Which will help them drastically. We'll first put him there. Oh, this guy will fall. Well, there's no... Yeah, he's going to fall back. About over there. This guy's actually going to declare a charge on this Harlequin. Because he can lock it up in melee. So it fires Overwatch, because why not? It's still on an objective, so it doesn't fully care. He's in. This guy's going to advance. Actually, these ones will ready up. He's going to fall back over here to here. All right. He's fallen back. I should also indicate this guy fell back. And this guy will fall back. This guy will also advance. He didn't make it yet. But he's within range of orders. And because of that, ready. Harlequin's turn. Well, they had people fall back from them, and the guy who could move around freely was charged. Now they prevented that guy, and these guys can only... Well, they're ready to do some shooting. I can't remember if you can ready... I think they can ready up, because... It is... No, it specifically says if you start your turn if you start the round within 1 inch, you can only stay still or fall back. Yeah, that was the 2. Stand still or fall back. So it's just kind of like, well, can't fall back now because it didn't. When it was chosen to fall back, it wasn't still within 1 inch. Anyway, top of shooting phase, orders. He'll give this one the move. So he
advances. I mean, honestly, if he really wanted to, he would actually go on top of this objective, but he's going on to this one. So he's securing it even more. So Guardsmen now have these two objectives secured for sure because they're insane like that. And they might have enough shooting to clear this, which they're just going to try now. Because they're doing Cadians, and these rated up for a reason, to get rerolls of 1. So we'll start with this one shooting. Firing. 4s to hit, reroll 1s. 2 hits, 4s to wound. 1 wound. 4 up invuln. Made it. 2 shots from this guy. 4s to hit because it's out in the open. Reroll 1s. 1 hit. 4 to wound. Wounds. Invuln save. Failed it. They'll spend their final command point to reroll it. Failed it even more. Injury roll. Dead. He will shoot 2 shots, 4s to hit. Reroll 1s. Both hit. 1 wound. Invuln save. Made. Two shots from comms into him. 4s to hit. Reroll 1s. 1 hit. Failed to wound. Won't bother spending command point to reroll that. Comms will add 1 to the sniper plasma. He will overcharge to get his damage too. And hey, he's added 1 to his shot, so now it's 3s to hit. Reroll 1s. And since they want him dead, they'll spend the command point to use his sniper tactic thing to add 1 to his shot roll. So it's 2s to hit. Reroll 1s. Reroll 1s. Both hit. 2s to damage. 2 wounds, 2 invuln saves. He failed 1 of them. That's all he needed to do. Damage 2. Here we go. They cleared the objective. Oh, I forgot. They left a guy on the objective. So they own this object. They own 3 objectives now. Melee, because all shooting's complete. Well, no, not all shooting's complete. He's gonna skip, actually, his pistol shooting, because this guy can then just light him up if he succeeds. So he's just like, you know what, never mind. Let's not get lit up by plasma. So we go on to melee. Starting with charge models, which is this Guardsman. 4 to hit. Hits. 4 to wound. Wounds. Failed it. They have no command points to reroll, so we go to an injury roll. They haven't spent their command point for reroll this phase, so they'll spend their final command point to reroll this. Still an injury roll, but... Oh, man. One thing I forgot, does the injury stack, or do you just get... Yes, you do stack with the flesh wound. It's been a while since I've made it even to 2 flesh wounds. So that stacks, which actually helps him. So now we go on to Harlequin's punching, because this guy can't punch because he's shaken. And we'll start with this guy, who was the Zealot, so he doesn't gain extra attacks this round because you only get it in which they do the charging. But he gains an extra attack from being charged from his mosque. So he's got 5 attacks still, but it's now 5s to hit. He gets 2 hits. That's enough. And it's still 3s to wound. 2 wounds. 2 6-up saves for that Guardsman. Yep, this Guardsman had sacrificed himself to tie up to prevent him from moving to an objective. So 3 damage. He sacrificed himself for the Emperor. He will not consolidate. He still wants to be able to charge someone else. And hey, he can hold on to this objective. And now this guy punching. He's got 5 attacks because he's the combat specialist, so he always has extra 1. He doesn't have an injury, so it's 3s to hit. 4 hits. Strength 3 is 4 versus toughness 3, so 3s to wound. 3 wounds at AP minus 3, so they go through. Damage 1 though. Add 1 from the flesh wound. Out of action. You will inch closer to that guy. Morale phase. Oh, wow. Harlequins definitely need to do break test. 11. They broke. They can fail pretty miserably, so we'll start with this guy. 4 plus 4 is 8, which is his leadership, so he passes. And now this guy. 7 passes. Guardsmen. Only 2 flesh wounds are about. And 1, 2, that's 7. So that's 9. So they're only at half. This guy, he's got no one around him. Does this guy even have... Well, regardless, even if these 2 had people around them, they need a frick ton of people to prevent failing. So failed, reroll because of Vox. Failed, roll him. Failed, reroll because of Vox. Still fail. So the ones with injuries are pretty much guaranteed shakens at this point. All right. Objectives. Guardsmen have 3 of them, so they go up to 6 victory points. Harlequins only go up to 3. And honestly, Harlequins can't win because even if they manage to table them, that doesn't state a victory. That just still goes to victory points, which Guardsmen have. Granted, the game doesn't say it would end if they tabled them, so then it's just that they would have to hold the objectives for 3 turns to tie. But we're going on to turn 4, so they would have to table and hold 3 objectives from here on out. They don't have enough models to hold 3 objectives. Or, actually, hold the same objective for 3 turns. They could. There's still a chance. We'll see if they succeed, though. Guardsmen are at 2 command points. Harlequins are at 1. So, initiative, still Guardsmen. He's going to ready up. He's actually going to declare charge on this one. Oh, what? Yeah, let's see if I can properly balance it. There we go. So, yeah, he's declaring a charge. Harlequin will fire Overwatch. Doesn't hit. Charge roll. 5. They'll spend a command point to reroll that. Wasn't good. Snake Eyes. Alright. You will not try to lock it up then in combat to prevent it from charging him. We'll go there. This Guardsman will ready up. You can see that. Yeah, that's about it for Guardsmen and what they can do. Harlequins. He's going to declare charge on these three. Because they can't see him. Let's see here. What's his distance? You know what? They're going to fall back. Because even if he succeeds in charging those ones in particular now, he won't be near an objective. And they weren't going to be able to shoot at him anyway. The only people who could shoot would be at him, and they didn't really think that was good. So now he has a harder charge, and if he succeeds, it won't be as beneficial. 10, 11, I think that's exactly what he was going to need. Yeah. So he's in. But he's not going to hold an objective. They'll still hold an objective. And instead of getting shot, he's going to declare charge on that guy. Who will overwatch? He will not overcharge, though. He doesn't need the damage 6. Do they want to spend a command point to reroll that? Oh, they've already spent a reroll because of him, so... Nope, they can't reroll because it's still the same phase. That's a 10. He's in. Prevent getting shot in the shooting phase. Or so they think. Because orders start, and he's going to say, hey, buddy, fix bayonets. He's like, got it, sir. For the Emperor. And he whiffed. Well, it's the only time they'll be able to reroll during the shooting phase, so they'll spend their 5 command point to reroll that. Because why not? And he failed. Still failed. I guess it doesn't fully matter because the Harlequins are broken, so that is going to be rough for them. So we go on to attacks, the fight phase, and if we start with him, whoa, that player, he's going to have 6 attacks from the charge because of Zealot and his Mosque. However, he has 2 injuries, and his team is broken, so -3. That is 6 to hit on all of these attacks. He actually got 2 hits. Still 3s to wound. 1 wound. AP -1, so 6 up save for this guy. Is this the time they make it? Nope. D3 damage. 2 damage. They might be able to at least kill this guy. At least killed him. He will not consolidate because, you know, he can hold an objective. He might be able to at least break the guard. And now this guy, who's got 6 attacks. He'll put 2 on each guy. It's only going to be 4s to hit because he has no injuries. So 2 attacks this guy. 1 hit. Wounds. AP -3 goes through. Do they want to spend a command point now? Nah, they'll just do flesh wound. They know flesh wound is pretty much taking a guard out of commission. This guy, 2 hits. 2 wounds, AP -3. So both go through, but it's damage 1. So it's still 1 Neuro. 2 attacks on him. 2 hits. 1 wound. That's all he needed. Flesh wound. Guardsman time. He's going to pile in. How many attacks does he have in total? He's going to have 3 attacks at 5s to hit. So that flesh wound. Actually gets a hit. Actually gets a wound even. Failed their invuln. Have they spent their... No, they have not spent their command point. They're spending it. They should re-roll this to save him. Because if he failed, he was going to die. These 2 guys are going to roll together. 5s to hit. Nothing. So we go on to morale. Harlequins are broken. So Roll for this guy. Still passed. Still passed. Guard, I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8, 11, 12. Yeah. Guard have gone to the point of a break test as well. Oh, no. Break test as well. And the guard has not been broken. You know what? Let's start seeing how 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll roll this guy first. He'll have more. He can pass on a 2 instead of has to be a 1. Failed, reroll because Vox is still up. And then he passed. This guy passed. Sergeant. Failed. Also, does he... He has to roll a 1 to pass. Right? Oh, is it within 2 or is it within 3? Within 2. He also has a different leadership. So that's 2 plus... Okay, I've become an 8. I don't think he's 8. Yeah, he's 7, so he just barely failed. And that was, I think, his reroll. Yeah, so he is shaken. This guy, he can reroll. Shaken. This guy, reroll. Shaken. Doesn't really impact the parts that matter. Guardsmen still have 2 objectives and gain another 2. Harlequins only gain 1. So right now they're still double the amount of points of the Harlequins. Does the game end? I think it's a 3+, so no, it doesn't. Turn 5. Since their leadership is shaken, it's only 1 command point for both teams. Harlequins roll the objective thing. Objective 2 is gone now. So, yeah. Who has the leadership? No, who has the initiative? Guard clearly have the initiative. Oh yeah, that guy had his token. He's gonna go. Yeah, okay. There's no need to measure him out just yet. He will go his 6. He'll be on that objective. This guy will go 3 and 3. 3 and 3. And these guys will go over here. These guys will fall back just a little bit. So that way, if he kills this guy, he can only consolidate to them. And he can't get to these guys, so he can't get to the objective. So they're basically being a buffer. But basically they're being a blockade to prevent him from being able to get to these guys from consolidation. Because this guy can't fall back, so if he kills him, he can only move to these guys. Or that guy. Whoever's closer, which I think is still them. So he goes there, can't be within objective. Because if they went all the way back here, then he might be able to get there, but they're forcing him to not be able to. And now this guy's declaring a charge on him. He will overwatch, because he's pretty much got to. 8 inches. He's in. Guardsmen have prevented Harlequins from scoring any points this turn. It's just can the Guardsmen score points themselves. So we're going on to shooting phase. Can't do orders because he's shaken. No shooting can be done. So we go on to the fight phase. He charged, so we go with him. 4 to hit. Doesn't hit. They won't spend a command point to reroll that. They'll save their command point for morale phase. Harlequin's punch now. We'll start with this guy, who's the Zealot. He's only got 4 attacks. 6s to hit. Ooh, it doesn't hit. So, blocked. Him, still 5 attacks because he's still a combat specialist. He's 4s to hit. 2 hits. 3s to wound. 1 wound. Goes through. Injury roll. Is dead. If he consolidates, he has to go to those 2. They have not been chosen to fight yet, so he knows if he consolidates to them, they'll attack him. So he will not consolidate. So that's that. Now we go into leadership. We'll roll these guys. Ooh, he failed. He is now shaken. This guy, shaken. So Harlequins are full shaken. Guardsmen do a break test. 7. Ooh, their sergeant is dead. So that's a break, yeah. Yep, they have now officially broken. Okay. So they'll spend a command point to make Vox automatically pass. Which means now this guy, he will roll. Now everyone is a 1 to pass. Failed. Them. Pass. Wow. Failed. Reroll. Fail. Him. Fail. Him. Fail. Yep, full fail. Now the guy next to him. Failed. This guy. And failed. And then the final guy, who I never removed the token from, is still a fail. But they still go up by 1 victory point, so they're now at 9. Harlequins remain at 4. I will roll to see if the game ends, just because of the silliness of it. The game doesn't end and actually goes to the final turn 6, which is just this guy kind of being like, "What the fuck? He's alone. He's literally alone. He's the only one that could do anything." This guy failed. I forgot. Yeah, he failed. So everyone is oh, I never rolled for this guy, who's probably a fail. Yep, fail. So everyone is shaken, literally, except for one guy for a whole turn. So, you know what? We'll just do him shooting into this guy. 5's to hit because 6's to hit because he's broken and obscured. Nothing. And now that would be that. And then we roll morale checks again. We can even do this guy. That's actually a pass. And that guy's a fail. So, like that. Guardsmen will spend a command point again to make Vox automatically pass. And then that's that. Well, fail. Oh, right. This guy was technically alive. So he would have fired 2 shots. He actually would have gone 2 hits. No, he would have gone 1 hit. Either way, it would have been actually... Didn't matter. In the end, it didn't matter. Oh, look at that. He would have passed his morale check. A nerve check. Oh, look at that. See, the reason I'm still rolling this is to see how badly Guard would have won. Oh. Now, that is unfortunate for Harlequins that in the final hour, these guys pass, making it so on the final turn, Guardsmen get an extra 3 victory points and become 12. And Harlequins remain at 4. So Guardsmen had triple the points that Harlequins had. Oh yeah, technically I was supposed to actually roll to see. Okay, that objective would have disappeared at the top of turn 6. Did I do it for top of turn 5 too? Either way, that roll indicated that nothing changed. Never rolled a 1 or a 4, which is what mattered at that point. So, yeah. That was crazy. That was cool, too. I mean, Guardsmen won, but purely by numbers again. So, it just shows that a horde of Guardsmen is actually way more terrifying than I would anticipate over and over and over again. That was an interesting game. I need to start getting into some painting because I have some primed models, new ones. So I need to start painting so I can get you some more models and new teams. Anyway, have a fabulous day, everybody.